to countries like right from Australia, China to India. It's another whole subject of economics. If some of you have seen the film Irma La Douce, okay, where the protagonist keeps telling every 5 minutes, but that is another story. So I have lots of stories, but I will focus mainly on Reserve Bank's performance qua prema. So these are the few positive aspects of Reserve Bank's performance. Now let me present to you the negative aspects of Reserve Bank. And this is where I want to clarify that I have the highest respect for Reserve Bank of India. It is in this kinds of atmosphere, these times, when you can't find anybody who is honest, no institution is left free from corruption. Reserve Bank of India is still decent, professional and clean. This is in fact a big achievement to have a few thousand officers who are all honest in a country like India in the current times. Having said that, my submission is Reserve Bank has miserably failed. And I'll submit my reasons for having said that. Rupee was equal to approximately 4 rupees to a dollar in the year 1947. Today it is approximately 60 rupees to a dollar. So imagine the depreciation which rupee has gone down. But that is not sufficient, because what dollar was in the year 1947, from there it has reduced to less than 0.1%. How do you compare the value of dollar? In 47, $35 could give you a troy ounce of gold. Today it costs $1,300. So 35 to 1,300, that is the depreciation of dollar. On that hugely depreciated dollar, rupee has further depreciated. Now where is your guarantee under Section 25 of the Reserve Bank of India Act? You have guaranteed, and then you have issued trillions of rupees to this country. What about that guarantee? If you give a guarantee and if you don't perform your guarantee, then people, anybody who has got even medium intelligence, I am not talking of experts, anybody who has got some intelligence, he will throw away the rupee and buy dollar, pound, euro, any currency which maintains the value. It's plain economic sense. What is wrong about it? I would submit for your consideration that Hawala racketeers are not guilty. Reserve Bank is guilty. And because Reserve Bank fails in maintaining the value which it has guaranteed, this Hawala business has come up. Why there is no Hawala business in USA? Why do people want to take their money out of India? Leave aside corruption and criminal money, that is there. But even a regular businessman, why does he take his money out of India and store it outside India? It is because rupee is constantly falling. So Reserve Bank is guilty, that is my submission. This is, I have considered 65 years history. Consider 2013. All of you know that in April 2013, rupee was around 53 rupees to a dollar. And then there was a sudden attack on rupee and rupee went down to 69 rupees. How did it go down? What happened? Why did it go down? For explaining this, if I give you the answer straight away, many of you would not believe my answer. So let me tell you another historical development which has happened and where I have studied little more in depth. Southeast Asian crisis of 1997. Again, many of you have studied it, so I will cover it briefly. A cartel decided that international trade currency is only US dollar. Nobody can do international business in any currency other than dollar. President Muhammad Mahathir of Malaysia said, my exports go to Japan. The Japanese companies assemble my components and sell their products to USA. So for Japan, US is international currency, US dollar is international currency. As far as I am concerned, yen is my currency. So let me do business in yen. Malaysia, South Korea, Philippines, Indonesia, all these countries had become component supplier to Japan, which had emerged as a very big exporter to USA. So these 5 countries together decided to trade in yen. And the cartel said this is an offense which is not forgivable. So what they did? The strategy started in the year 1990 or little before 1990. These cartels invested in these 5 countries. Start with $10 billion, $25 billion, $50 billion. All these are small economies. Imagine a very big broker from Mumbai goes to Nagpur Stock Exchange or Rajkot Stock Exchange and floods the exchange with 100 crores of rupees or 500 crores of rupees. What happens? It has happened in the past in Rajkot, where share prices went up, then property prices went up, and then people had started SSC marksheet in the name of SEC shares. Those of you who might be aware, the high-pitched speculation which went on Gujarat, and anything was being sold. Same situation happened in these Southeast Asian countries. Everything went up. It's a huge, huge game how it was played. The finance ministers of these countries were given big awards. You are the best finance minister in the world. So the finance ministers were talking with them. Economist magazine in the Western media was calling them the Asian tigers. So they thought, fine, the world is ours. We don't worry. And the speculation went on and on. Then, they were all keeping watching for a weakness in the system somewhere. June 1997, the cartel decided that this is the opportune time. There is no journalist here, sir? So, I give some name. Solomon and Solomon Bank was there. That bank was given the task of destroying Thailand. And 2 managers, both of them are in finance field. One is a very top director of a very large institution, but in 97 he was not that top. So these 2 managers were given the task. Okay? And let me explain what these managers have said, actually what happened. I don't know the names of the companies in Thailand and what were the prices and all that. But let us say there was a company A. Originally the price was 10 rupees, today it is ruling at 100 rupees. Now these managers, all these financial institutions who are trading even in India, they have their pet brokers. Brokers with whom they have their liaison. This manager said, Baba, I need money. So I am prepared to sell this share which is quoting at 100 rupees at a price of 90 rupees, but I want 50 crores of rupees. Are you prepared to buy? Now that broker's capacity to buy is only 5 crores. He can't buy 50 crores, but at the same time he knows that for past 7 years the market has been continuously going up. So a 100 rupee share is available to me for 90 rupees, let me go out, borrow and buy the shares. And a whole group of brokers, they mortgage their houses, they mortgage their wife's jewelry, highly leveraged and purchased a huge quantity of shares. Again, all the seniors would know that 20 years back, trading in share in India was a nightmare. You buy shares, physical shares are delivered to you, you sign, then you send for registration, then there will be signature difference, it comes back, then you send back. It took 3 to 6 months for registering the sale date. But in 97, all these 5 Southeast Asian countries, they had their stock exchanges completely computerized. custodians computerized, banking transactions computerized, foreign exchange restrictions lifted. So, these financial institutions could sell billions of dollars worth of stock, securities and everything within a week. Clean out. All the institutions sold completely everything, and by the time the brokers realized that I have not made a profit because the share which I purchased at 90 rupees, I can't sell it at 100 rupees, today price is 10 rupees. Thailand became insolvent within 1 week. Indonesia became insolvent, Philippines, South Korea, all these countries went into serious crisis. President Suharto of Indonesia was thrown, there was a revolution in Indonesia, and the whole story goes on. 2 years later, World Bank president retired, and I keep checking on the internet, and in his retirement speech he had said, I am glad that during my tenure as the president of the World Bank, we were successful in removing President Suharto from Indonesia. Can you understand the impact of this statement? A regime change was planned. It was planned 10 years back, and it was then executed by the whole cartel of the bankers and financial institutions whom all of us consider highly respectable. When they go to lobby, supposing you want to go to Reserve Bank of India, you won't get an appointment. You want to make a representation before Finance Ministry. Finance Minister has no time to listen to you. But when these financial institutions go, the Prime Minister, all the power centers have the time to listen to them. They get their policies changed. They got our banking system changed. They said in 91 that we will not invest in India unless your stock exchange is computerized, unless you have custodial system, unless your banking system is computerized, unless your FERA is scrapped and liberalized. So today what do we have in India? If the same bank decides to make an attack on India, in 1 week clean, they can sell their shares completely. Then they will say, this is my capital gain. I am coming from Singapore or Mauritius, so I will not liable to pay a single rupee tax. Within a week, shares would be sold, money would be realized, it would be put into the bank, money would be transferred out of the country. Today, we are in a situation which was created in 1997 for Southeast Asia. If you are trading in share market and if you are leveraging, then God bless you. This is not the time for anybody to leverage and then speculate in any market. Okay. So you know now which is the cartel which is operating internationally. Now this cartel attacked the Indian rupee in April 2013, just last year. I am not talking global, I am not talking hypothetical, I am talking very harsh facts of ground reality. Governor of Reserve Bank of India, Mr. Subbarao, had gone to a meeting of IMF before April 2013. And he made a statement that trying to protect the falling currency value of an emerging market, which in short means rupee, trying to protect the value of an Indian rupee is like catching a falling knife. If a knife is falling from the sky, can you catch it? You can't. So in essence, the governor of RBI said, I cannot protect the value of rupee if it falls. Is the governor allowed to make such a statement? What do you think? Reserve Bank governor's duty is to protect the value of rupee. It is his bounden duty, and that is the most important duty of the whole of Reserve Bank of India. Whatever they are doing, Reserve Bank's function is to maintain the value of rupee, and the governor goes and says, I will not protect rupee. Mr. Arvind Mayara, who was in the finance ministry and who has been upgraded recently, he made a statement that government of India will not protect rupee. So this cartel knew that if they attack India, nobody is going to protect India. It is like the military commander saying that if China attacks Indian borders, China is more powerful than Indian military, so I am not going to protect India. Let the Chinese military roll in and I will ask my military men to run away. Can the military commander say this? If he cannot say this, how can Governor of Reserve Bank of India say this? He made that statement. And the cartel made a huge attack on rupee from 53 to 69. It was a huge depreciation of rupee. I have given figures in my paper. You take any figure from any figure, how much loss India is making. My one calculation is, you can check, you can have your own calculation, that India is losing annually 75 trillion rupees. Our loss because of recent depreciation of rupee is 75 trillion rupees. Now what is 75 trillion? I don't understand. 75 lakhs भी नहीं देखा है. 75 crores का बात करो तो समझता हूँ. 75 trillion rupees, what is it? So you take a comparison. Government of India, total tax revenue, total direct tax revenue, which is paid by you, me, large corporations, PSUs, all put together is 6 trillion rupees. I'm sorry about my figure. 7.5 trillion rupees we have lost. Every year we lose 7.5 trillion rupees and our tax revenue is 6 trillion rupees. So all the exercise which our income tax department with a few thousand officers and the whole paraphernalia does is lost by just one attack. When you consider all these things, the whole of HEMA, the interpretation, the whole thing looks like a storm in a teacup. It's just nothing. Reserve Bank is a total failure. Reserve Bank should not be there. The governor should be sacked. The Reserve Bank Foreign Exchange Management section should be sacked. But they are punishing us. They are there to punish us for interpretation which they change with retrospective effect. I have given a few instances here. Anybody who is practicing FEMA would have a series of instances where Reserve Bank has said categorically, say I have described LRS. In the year 2004, Reserve Bank declared liberalized remittance scheme. Reserve Bank manager came to our conference and he said, you are permitted $25,000 to be remitted abroad. You do what you want with it. And we asked direct questions. So we asked them, can we invest in stock market? Yes. Can we incorporate companies? Yes. Can we invest in immovable property? Yes. But immovable property we cannot buy with $25,000. See, 5 of us family members join together, may remit money abroad and then buy immovable property? Yes. All this, yes, I have said, is there in writing on Reserve Bank of India's website. Somebody in 2010 took an interpretation that you cannot incorporate companies abroad. And then they started punishing people for having incorporated companies under liberalized remittance scheme. Chamber and BCA and we have all made representations to Reserve Bank. It took us 3 years fight to tell Reserve Bank that, sir, you are wrong, people are not wrong, and you being in the dock, you are punishing innocent citizens of India. This is not just once. Paresh Buddhadev can give you 10 illustrations of this. Our chairman, sir, can give you 15 illustrations of this, how Reserve Bank has changed its interpretation and then punished innocent citizens. So friends, I am before you here placing very few brief facts. Now you judge before which authority you are going to practice. Thank you.
Friends, you have heard Rashmin and understood the story of blind man catching the elephant. How humble he is, but and how wise we are now. Thank you, Rashmin, for your overall analysis of laying the framework that why FEMA is required. With this introductory note, I would only say that well done is, halfway well done goes together, and then we have had a successful, very well-deserved overview to consider how and why FEMA is required. With these words, may I request was to propose a very well-deserved vote of thanks for us tonight.
Respected seniors, dignitaries on the dais and off the dais. Friends, the very objective of this course is to impart fundamental knowledge on the subject so that provisions are conceptually understood and participants move in the direction of building them as solid professionals. To bless this endeavor, we are indeed fortunate to have Rashmin to make this keynote address. He has been one of the pioneer professionals who have been instrumental in enabling many new professionals to get into this area and excel. We are all grateful to him for all his initiatives that he takes to share his knowledge. And friends, in today's talk, he has shown a big economic picture and then made us understand the importance of the subject that we are going to study. So we are indeed thankful to you for blessing this inaugural session with your presence and giving us your words of wisdom, with which we are going to begin this learning process for the 16 sessions to come. We seek your blessings, and friends, with these words, I request all of you to carry this word of thanks with you. We shall just break for the change of diets, and the next session will immediately start.